They canceled YouTube in Russia.
Well, you know,
Really?
it is a.
I didn't know about that.
Well, there's a good move, but other than that, they've been really.
They don't want
losing
people
lately.
looking up tutorials. They want them getting frustrated with things.
They're gonna get wrecked in that game you're playing.
How the fuck do I fix this goddamn washing machine? Like,
Race I will never have as a doctor.
I don't know if I want
Let's
to
go.
know. Man.
Let's go.
I think
I'm trying
it's
to guess.
when I was a kid.
Is there a race of like blind people?
Let's
Is
write
there
it
a race
down.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
Mongoloid.
Blind Aborigines.
our pediatrician was in Athens. His name was Dr. Kwan. Kwan with a Q. I think that's Korean, but you know, I was 6, so like he had one of those big faces, so I think he was one of those. And
I'm glad
Dr.
it was a
Kwan-
white or an Asian guy. We're good.
Dr. Kwan was a no bullshit kind of pediatrician. My mom would be like, yeah, his nose is a little stuffy. He's already got that bulb with the saline solution up my nose. And it's just like, worm, like douching my brain. fucking filling my whole head up with that shit. And of course, it clears me right up. But it was like everything he did was rough. Every time he gave me a shot, every time he'd flip me around like he was like, yeah, look at the back of it over here. You see right here on his back? Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about that. He was like, I hated it. I was scared of Dr. Kwan. I hated Dr.
But you know what? It's funny because my doctor since I was a kid was Dr. Louis, and he was Chinese.
So no Koreans. Did y'all have any kids that went to school with you who had grease poured on them?
Grease poured on as a punishment.
Like it accidentally had like it comes
oven.
off the counter. Kid gets scalded with grease, and now they have like a grease
My
scar on them.
coworker's
Permanent
son
scar,
had
like right here or
something
something.
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They, you know what? And it scared me as a parent. So all they had was a really hot cup of coffee, and this kid was 2, and it could walk. You know, it was a stupid 2-year-old, and it pulled the coffee off the kitchen counter onto himself, and he had bad burns along the side of his face and like his shoulder and into his chest.
Yeah.
So when I met the kid,
Poor kid.
he was like 4, and he had what I'll describe as like a wetsuit top on that he wore all the time as part of his skin healing process. He came from a wealthy
scuba
family,
diver.
so he was getting some good medical care.
Little scuba Steve over
His
there. all
father
burnt
owned
up.
an oil company.
His father owned an oil company.
You going
Really?
diving today, Steve? Shut up! You know I'm all burnt up from the coffee.
I'm all burnt up from
Fuck
the
you,
coffee.
Steve. Your dad owns 8 gas stations. God. Hope you turn into a Batman villain.
Jesus Christ.
What would his name be?
Ooh.
Like Grease Lightning or something.
Oh, Jesus.
I was gonna go to
That's pretty
Slippery
good.
Pete, but that's Grease lightning. No, there was a kid at my school, and he had been all burnt up by grease. And I remembered, like in elementary school, and I made note of that. There's a few like memories I have in my life where it feels like I mentally put up a signpost that I could look back and see brightly from any point in the future. And there was a moment where I went, grease is incredibly dangerous and must be respected, just like firearms and like threshers. And later on, I'll tell you, when I was in high school, I put up a road sign about metal lathes because I worked in a machine shop, and we had one in high school, and he showed us a video of what it could do to a man, you know, getting sucked in by your hair and torn apart. And then you looked at this piece of machinery and you found that it had more power than you could comprehend. Like it turned anything, it could tear anything apart that you could put in it. And it's like, okay, signpost, respect to this. If you don't do that throughout your life, you'll eventually like fall into a thresher or something.
Most of the machines in my life, like if I grab them, they stop. If I get sucked into my vacuum cleaner, it gets stopped.
Yeah,
if
you
I get
deserve
hit
it.
by my ceiling fan, I don't like it, but the ceiling fan stops.
Yeah.
My tractor, for example, a human offers no resistance that the tractor takes notice of. And like Kyle said, respect that thing.
Yeah, so I put that grease respect there, and like, because I saw that kid all burnt up and scarred, and like it or not, like maybe not in everybody else's mind, but I was like, all right, well, like I don't want to be around you because you're like an other now. Like I don't. You're like a freak. I don't want to be around you. I won't say exactly how I knew this other person, but my mom used to make me go play with this kid, who had all these like physical deformities. He was like missing some fingers, like multiple fingers. One hand was like 2 or 3 fingers, and his face was really ugly. Like, I don't mean he was like a 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10. I mean, his face was scary. It frightened me a little.
So was this an accident thing or born with it thing?
Born that way. And I remember telling her like I don't want to go. He's fucking scary to look at. I can't look at him in the face. And when I shook his hand, his fucking weird fingers felt weird. I don't want to go. And she's like, shit. Okay, you don't have to go. I was like, because I wasn't gonna go anymore. Like I met this kid before, and they're like, yeah, play with Billy No Fingers, and it's just like, fuck, no, I don't ever want to come back here again. I don't care how many toys this fucker has. I don't give a shit, man. That kid, no, it scared me as a kid. Go find somebody else who isn't frightened of him. I'm still scared.
What is
he's
CP?
out there?
But what if I'm a hot 24-year-old girl? I'm more fiscally minded. I see a guy who might have money just pouring off of him. Do I want shoes? Do I want a new purse? You know, if we're going out, hey, daddy, will you get me this, that, or the other thing?
But wait, are you a 25-year-old guy with a Bugatti?
I'm a 24-year-old girl.
Bugatti.
Bugatti. All the colors.
It's not about how much money you have. It's about how much money you give me.
Not according to Andrew Tate, but I got that. That's cool.
Like I can't. I don't know the whole formula of it because I've only picked up women in a car as me, right? For all I know, like it wouldn't have worked if you know if I weren't me for whatever reasons. But like I don't know. Like sometimes I'll just be at somewhere, you know, and a girl will say, "Oh, I like your car," and if as a man, if a woman pays you a compliment, take notice, okay? She's not a gearhead. She doesn't have Moto Trend on her toilet back at home, okay?
No, what you want to do is start artistically quizzing her on Carfax.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah.
Oh, are you into cars? Well, then tell me 5 types.
you like my car, huh? What comes with the ZR1 package, huh?
Exactly.
Just as I thought, a liar and a cheat, and you leave like
yeah, leave her at the top.
Introducing liquid anesthesia.